At Thanksgiving dinner, my parents made my 9-year-old daughter eat in the garage. Not at the kids' table. Not in the basement. In the unheated garage. On a folding chair. With a paper plate. While 24 people sat inside eating turkey and stuffing and pumpkin pie off china plates at 2 perfectly set tables. Emma sat out there for 2 hours. Alone. In 38-degree weather. She did not complain. She did not cry. She did not bang on the door. She just sat there and ate her cold food because Grandma said there was no room inside and this was the best they could do. I was working a double shift at the hospital. I did not know until I picked her up at 8 that night and she was shivering. I did not scream. I did not cry. I called my lawyer the next morning. 60 days later, my parents received an eviction notice on the house I had been paying for since 2018. They called it cruel. I called it consequences. It was supposed to be a normal Thanksgiving. That is what my mother kept saying when she called to confirm we were coming. Just a normal family Thanksgiving. Nothing fancy. Just good food and good company. She said it was going to be small this year. Intimate. Just close family. She said Emma would have so much fun playing with her cousins. She said it would be nice. I believed her. I should have known better. My name is Jennifer Walsh. I am 37 years old. I am a registered nurse at County Memorial Hospital. I have worked there for 14 years. I work in the ICU. I am good at my job. Good at staying calm under pressure. Good at managing emergencies. Good at making quick decisions. I am not good at protecting my daughter from my own family. Or I was not. That changed on November 23rd. Emma is my daughter. She is 9 years old. She is the sweetest child you will ever meet. Gentle. Thoughtful. Shy. She loves animals. She volunteers at the animal shelter on weekends, helping clean cages and socialize the cats. She loves to read. She reads at a 7th grade level. She is always carrying a book. She is quiet. She does not demand attention. She does not act out. She just exists, softly and kindly, in her own little world. She is perfect. And my family has always treated her like she is a burden. My parents have 3 grandchildren. Emma. And my brother Michael's 2 kids. Jake is 11. Aiden is 8. They are loud. Energetic. Athletic. They play football. They wrestle. They break things. They are constantly getting into trouble at school. My parents think they are wonderful. Every football game is documented with dozens of photos. Every school project gets posted on Facebook. Every minor accomplishment is celebrated like they won the Nobel Prize. Emma's accomplishments are ignored. When she won the school reading competition in 2nd grade, my mother said, "That's nice." When she got the Compassion Award from her teacher last year for being kind to everyone, my father said, "Good job." When she raised $300 for the animal shelter by doing a sponsored readathon, my parents said congratulations and then immediately started talking about how Jake scored a touchdown in his last game. Not the game-winning touchdown. Just a touchdown. And somehow that was more important than my 9-year-old raising $300 for homeless animals. I have been financially supporting my parents for 6 years. Since 2018. My father had a stroke that year. He was 62. He survived, but he could not work anymore. He had some disability income, but it was not enough. My mother does not work. She never has. They were going to lose their house. Michael could not help. He is a sales rep for a pharmaceutical company. He makes decent money, but he has his own family to support. His wife, Carrie, does not work either. They have the 2 boys. They are stretched thin. So I stepped in. I started paying my parents' mortgage. Every month. $1,147. Every single month for 6 years. $82,584 total. I also paid for other things. When their furnace broke, I paid to replace it. $4,800. When they needed a new roof, I paid for that. $9,200. When my father needed physical therapy that insurance did not cover, I paid. $6,000. I never asked for anything back. I never complained. I just gave because that is what you do for family. Emma and I have always been excluded from family events. Not officially. Not openly. But in small ways. Ways that add up. When Michael's family comes over for Sunday dinner, they are invited. When we show up, my mother acts surprised. Oh, I didn't know you were coming. I didn't make enough food. When Michael's kids have birthdays, there are huge parties. Rented bounce houses. Catered food. Dozens of guests. When Emma has birthdays, we get a card in the mail with a $20 bill. No party. No visit. No acknowledgement beyond the card. Last Christmas, my parents gave Jake and Aiden new tablets. Expensive ones. $250 each. They gave Emma a used book. Someone else's name was written inside the cover. The pages were dog-eared. It smelled like cigarette smoke. Emma opened it and smiled and said thank you. She did not cry. She did not complain. But I saw her face. I saw the way it fell for just a second before she forced the smile. I saw her compare her gift to her cousin's gifts. I saw her understand, again, that she was worth less to them. I confronted my mother about it later. She said she did not have a lot of money this year. That she spent what she could. I reminded her that I had been paying her mortgage for 4 years at that point. That I had given her over $50,000. She said that was different. That was helping with bills. That was not gift money. I asked why Jake and Aiden got new tablets if she did not have money. She said Michael bought those and put them under the tree from her. I asked why she did not ask me to do the same for Emma. She had no answer. This year, Thanksgiving was at my parents' house. It always is. My mother hosts every year. She loves it. She plans the menu weeks in advance. She decorates. She sets a beautiful table. She posts photos of the preparations on Facebook. This year, she posted about how she was expecting a big crowd. 24 people. Extended family. Some neighbors. She was making 2 turkeys. Multiple sides. 3 kinds of pie. She was so excited. She called me 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. She confirmed we were coming. I said yes, of course. She asked what I could bring. I said I would make mashed potatoes and green beans. She said perfect. She asked if I could also bring rolls. I said sure. She said Emma was going to love it. That the cousins would be there. That there would be lots of kids for her to play with. I said that sounded great. I had to work Thanksgiving Day. I work in the ICU. Someone has to be there. I volunteered to work the morning shift so I could be off by early evening. My shift was 7 in the morning to 7 at night. 12 hours. I told my mother I would not make it for dinner, but I would drop Emma off around 11 so she could spend the day with family. My mother said that was perfect. She said Emma could help her cook. That it would be fun. Thanksgiving morning, I woke Emma up at 6. I made her breakfast. I helped her get dressed. She wore her favorite dress. Light blue with little flowers. She looked so pretty. She was excited. She said she hoped she could help Grandma in the kitchen. She said she hoped she could play with Jake and Aiden. She said she loved Thanksgiving. I drove her to my parents' house at 10:45. I walked her to the door. My mother answered. She looked stressed. Distracted. She said thanks for bringing Emma. She said she would see me tonight. She did not invite me in. She did not hug Emma. She just took her inside and closed the door. I went to work. It was a busy day. 3 admissions. 2 codes. 1 patient who died despite everything we did. I was exhausted. I did not check my phone much. I texted my mother at 2 to ask how Emma was doing. She responded with a thumbs up emoji. I texted at 4 to ask if Emma was having fun. No response. I texted at 6 to say I would be there around 7:30 to pick her up. No response. I assumed everything was fine. I assumed my mother was busy with guests. I assumed Emma was having a good time. I left work at 7. I was tired. My feet hurt. My back hurt. I just wanted to go home. But I was happy. Happy that Emma got to spend the day with family. Happy that she got to be part of something. I got to my parents' house at 7:28. I parked on the street because the driveway was full of cars. I walked up to the front door. I could hear voices inside. Laughter. Music. I knocked. My brother Michael answered. He had a beer in his hand. His face was flushed. He smiled when he saw me. Hey Jen. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Is Emma ready to go? He looked confused. Emma? I thought she was with you. My heart stopped. What? No. I dropped her off this morning. She's been here all day. Where is she? Michael turned and yelled into the house. Mom, where's Emma? I pushed past him and walked inside. The house was packed. People everywhere. Sitting, standing, talking, eating dessert. 2 tables were set up. One in the dining room. One in the living room. Both had chairs. Both had place settings. Both had been used for dinner. I counted quickly. 24 people. I did not see Emma. My mother came out of the kitchen. She was holding a dish towel. She looked annoyed. Jennifer. You're early. I thought you said 7:30. It's 7:30. Where's Emma? Oh. She's in the garage. I stared at her. The garage? Yes. There wasn't room at the tables. We had 24 people. 24 chairs. I couldn't squeeze in another one. So I set up a spot for her in the garage. She was fine with it. I could not breathe. I could not speak. You made her eat in the garage? I didn't make her do anything. I gave her options. She could eat in the garage at the card table, or she could wait until after dinner and eat in the kitchen. She chose the garage. She said it was fine. She's 9 years old. She chose the garage because she didn't want to be a burden. Because you made her feel like there was no room for her. Where is she? My mother pointed toward the door that led to the garage. Out there. I told her you'd be here soon. I walked to the garage door. I opened it. The garage was cold. Unheated. Dark except for a single overhead bulb. There was a card table in the corner. A folding chair. Emma was sitting there. She was still in her blue dress. She had a blanket wrapped around her shoulders. A blanket from the car that I kept in the trunk. She must have gone out and gotten it herself. Her plate was empty. Paper plate. Plastic fork. There was no food left. She had eaten everything. She was sitting there quietly, reading a book, using her phone flashlight because the overhead light was too dim. She looked up when she heard the door open. Her face lit up when she saw me. Mom, you're here. I walked over to her. I knelt down next to the chair. I touched her hands. They were ice cold. Baby, how long have you been out here? Since dinner started. Around 4, I think. Grandma said there wasn't room inside. She said I could eat out here. It's okay. It wasn't that bad. I brought a blanket. And I had my book. You've been out here for 3.5 hours? She nodded. Grandma brought me a plate. Turkey and mashed potatoes. It was really good. I ate everything. I didn't want to waste it. I looked at the plate. Cold mashed potatoes. Congealed gravy. A small piece of turkey. No stuffing. No cranberry sauce. No rolls. No pie. A child's portion. On a paper plate. While everyone else ate off china and had multiple servings and dessert. Did anyone come check on you? Emma shook her head. Grandma came out when she brought the plate. She asked if I was okay. I said yes. I didn't want to bother anyone. Everyone was having fun inside. I could hear them laughing. It sounded nice. I felt something inside me break. Something fundamental. I stood up. I took Emma's hand. Come on, baby. We're going home. I walked her back through the house. Everyone was still eating dessert. Still talking. Still laughing. Nobody acknowledged Emma. Nobody asked where she had been. Nobody noticed she was freezing. I found my mother in the kitchen. She was cutting pie. I said, "We're leaving." She looked up. "Oh, okay. Did Emma have fun? Did she have fun?" She sat in the garage for 3.5 hours in the cold. Alone. While everyone else ate inside. You really think she had fun? My mother frowned. She said she was fine. I gave her options. She chose the garage. She's 9. She chose the garage because you made her feel like there was no place for her. Because you couldn't find one chair. One chair out of 24. For your granddaughter. There really wasn't room, Jennifer. I had a set number of chairs. I couldn't just make more appear. You had a garage full of junk and one card table. You could have made room if you wanted to. You just didn't want to. My mother's face hardened. You're overreacting. Emma is fine. Look at her. She's fine. I looked at Emma. She was standing next to me, still wrapped in the car blanket, her lips faintly blue from the cold. She's not fine. And we're done. We're done with this. With you. With all of this. I took Emma and left. She did not say anything on the drive home. She just sat in the passenger seat, wrapped in the blanket, staring out the window. When we got home, I ran a hot bath for her. I helped her warm up. I made her hot chocolate. I put her in warm pajamas. I tucked her into bed. She looked at me with those big blue eyes and said, "I'm sorry I ruined Thanksgiving." I almost lost it. Almost cried right there. But I held it together. I said, "You didn't ruin anything. You are perfect. Grandma is wrong. And I'm going to make sure this never happens again." She fell asleep. I went to my room. I sat on my bed in the dark. I did not cry. I did not scream. I just sat there, thinking, calculating, planning. Then I opened my laptop. I found the contact information for my lawyer, James Riley. I had used him when I bought my house 3 years ago. I sent him an email. It was 10:30 at night, but I did not care. I said I needed to talk to him as soon as possible. About evicting my parents from a property I owned. He responded at 6 the next morning. He said he could meet me Monday. Monday came. I met with James at his office. I explained the situation. I owned the house my parents lived in. I had been paying the mortgage for 6 years. They had no legal claim to it. I wanted them out. He asked if I was sure. I said yes. He asked what prompted this. I told him about Thanksgiving. About Emma in the garage. About 6 years of exclusion and neglect and cruelty. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I'll start the paperwork today." I also called my bank. I canceled the automatic payment for my parents' mortgage. I called my credit card company. I disputed a charge from earlier in the month. My mother had used my credit card to buy decorations for Thanksgiving. $234. I said the charges were unauthorized. They froze the card. Then I waited. My mother called me Tuesday evening. She was crying. "Jennifer, what's going on? The mortgage payment didn't go through. The bank called. They said the payment was canceled. And my credit card isn't working. Did you do something?" "Yes. I canceled everything." "Why would you do that?" "We need that money. We'll lose the house." "Then you'll lose the house. You can't be serious. You're going to let us lose our home over Thanksgiving?" Emma was fine. "You're overreacting." Emma sat in a freezing garage for 3.5 hours while you hosted 24 people inside. She ate cold food off a paper plate while everyone else ate off china. She's 9 years old and you made her feel like there was no room for her. No, I'm not overreacting. I'm reacting exactly right. She could have eaten inside after everyone was done. She chose the garage. She's a child. She chose the garage because you gave her impossible options. And now I'm choosing to stop enabling you. I'm done paying your bills. I'm done funding your life. I'm done sacrificing my daughter's well-being so you can pretend to be a good grandmother to Michael's kids. What about us? What are we supposed to do? That's not my problem anymore. I hung up. Wednesday, my father called. He was angrier. "Jennifer, your mother is hysterical. She says you're taking away our house. You can't do that. We've lived here for 38 years. You can't just take it. It's my house. I've been paying for it for 6 years. You've paid nothing. I can absolutely take it. We don't have anywhere to go. We don't have money. I'm disabled. Your mother can't work. What are we supposed to do?" You should have thought about that before you made Emma eat in the garage. That was your mother's decision, not mine. I didn't even know Emma was out there until after dinner. Then you should have checked. You should have asked where she was. You should have cared. But you didn't. None of you did. And now you're dealing with the consequences. You're going to make your own parents homeless over this? You made my daughter eat in the cold. Alone. On Thanksgiving. Yes. I'm going to make you homeless. I hung up. Michael called Thursday. He was pleading. Jen, please. Mom and Dad are freaking out. They can't lose their house. They're too old to start over. Can't we work something out? Can you pay their mortgage? No. I can't. I don't have that kind of money. Then there's nothing to work out. I'll talk to Emma. I'll explain. I'll apologize. Emma doesn't need your apology. She needs to never be around you people again. You're going to destroy the whole family over this? I'm protecting my daughter. If that destroys the family deserved to be destroyed. I hung up. The eviction notice was delivered Friday. Certified mail. My parents had 60 days to vacate the property. They called me 16 times that day. I did not answer. They showed up at my house Saturday morning. I did not let them in. We talked through the screen door. My mother was crying. My father was angry. They said I was being cruel. I said they had been cruel to Emma for 9 years. They said they would apologize. They would make it right. They would do better. I said it was too late. I closed the door. They tried everything. They called Emma's school, trying to talk to her. The school called me. I told them my parents were not allowed contact with Emma. They made a note in her file. My parents called CPS. Said I was isolating Emma from her family. Said I was unstable. A social worker came to our house. She interviewed me. She interviewed Emma. She looked at our home. She saw that Emma was healthy, happy, well cared for. She closed the case. She said my parents' report was clearly retaliatory. 60 days came and went. My parents did not move. On day 61, the sheriff showed up. I was not there. I did not want to be. My lawyer called me afterward. He said my parents had refused to leave. They tried to claim squatters' rights. The sheriff explained they had no legal standing. They were given 2 hours to pack essentials. The rest would go to storage. They left in Michael's truck. They moved in with him. Temporarily. The house was a mess. They had trashed it out of spite. Holes in the walls. Broken fixtures. Garbage everywhere. It cost me $4,800 to repair and clean. But it was worth it. I listed the house for sale in February. It sold in 3 weeks. A young couple with a baby. They were so excited. I signed the papers and walked away with $53,000 after paying off the remaining mortgage and expenses. I put it all in Emma's college fund. My parents are still living with Michael. It has been 9 months. Michael's marriage is suffering. Carrie is resentful. The house is crowded. There is constant tension. Michael called me once asking if I would reconsider. If I would help them find an apartment. Give them some money to get started. I said no. He said I was destroying his life too. I said he should have thought about that when he let his kids eat turkey while Emma ate alone in the garage. He hung up. Emma is doing great. She is 10 now. She is thriving. She does not ask about grandma and grandpa anymore. She does not miss the family gatherings. She does not feel less than. We have created our own traditions. Our own family. Just the 2 of us. Last Thanksgiving, we volunteered at the animal shelter. We helped serve dinner to the staff who had to work. Emma loved it. She said it felt good to help. She said she liked our Thanksgiving better than the old ones. She said she never felt cold or alone. Just loved. That is all I ever wanted for her. To feel loved. To feel valued. To feel like she matters. And now she does. Because I chose her. Because I protected her. Because I showed her that her well-being matters more than anyone else's expectations. People ask me sometimes if I regret it. If I feel guilty. If I think I went too far. The answer is no. Never. Not for 1 second. Emma sat in a freezing garage for 3.5 hours on Thanksgiving while my family ate inside. She was 9 years old. She did not complain. She did not cry. She just sat there and accepted that there was no room for her. Because that is what we had taught her. That she was not worth making room for. I will never forgive myself for letting it get that far. For not seeing it sooner. For not protecting her better. But I can make sure it never happens again. And I have. We are free now. Free from people who treated her like she was disposable. Free from family who could not see how special she is. Free to build something better. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realize protecting our kids means walking away from the people who are supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.